recording now. You can go down anytime you want.
Well, when he got to the country, then he started. I watched 1490. It's called 1490. Came out. I watched on Christopher Columbus Day. Came out. 1490.
Well, now it's not.
It's not. Yeah, when they met the natives, I'm Native American, so I know.
Viajar y tener
Había unos talleres allá.
Or train, do not keep it to yourself. Police officer or MTA employee will make
The bus ain't gonna happen though. I take it back. Resistance Street for
86th Street. Clear up the closing doors, please.
Okay, we're here at Columbus Day, right outside the Museum of Natural History. Johnny Stevens, tell us about what are we doing here today?
Yeah, we're here at the statue of Theodore Roosevelt at the Museum of Natural History, along with Native American Indian House, who is actually celebrating Indigenous People Day. That is what this really is. And we have a hashtag Not My Hero, which takes you to a lot of the facts exploring the myth of Columbus and who he was, and telling the truth about the oppression of the Native American First Nation people in this country.
Right.
What they are demanding, the American Indian House and Indigenous People Day, they're demanding that this statue, Theodore Roosevelt, the colonialist, just like colonialism in Puerto Rico or in the Virgin Islands, they demanded that statue be taken down.
Why?
Because it's just as offensive as the statue of Christopher Columbus. And they demand that these statues be put in a museum somewhere or wherever they want to go. We recognize that Italians are immigrants. They came in, they were workers. A lot of them were construction workers, cab drivers. They were oppressed. A lot of them was persecuted and hung just like other people. We understand that. They're workers. But it got to be some leaders that could replace Theodore Roosevelt or Christopher Columbus. Workers who work every day. This is what we're doing today. I'd like to thank you from the Oscarville Lopez Mandela Committee for being out here. And there's many other organizations going to come and join this very important action supporting the First Nation people, indigenous people of this country, and the American Indian House. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A lot of Italian Americans find what you're doing is repulsive against them. You know why they put up the statue of Columbus here? Because of a lynching that took place in 1891.
Remember that? New Orleans, a group of 15 Italians were lynched in 1891. Italians all over put their money, built that statue to show they were good Americans. That came out in 1891. And the people who opposed Columbus, it's interesting, was Ku Klux Klan. They opposed Columbus. They called him a Dago of sorts. They didn't want to celebrate him. But Columbus is part of our history. When you tear down these statues, you're tearing down our history. That's what you're doing. You're no different than ISIS or the Taliban. That's what makes you different than them.
They killed my people. It took
Who
my
are they killing? Hey, come to kill you. Come to kill your people. Come not responsible for what happened after his death.
About any type of history.
Oh, I hear you. And then I'll get the sign. Loaiza, tell us about the statue that you made up.
Well, this is my doll of Christopher Columbus. He's hanged in effigy for genocide, terrorism, spreading the biggest lie in history, for the destruction of civilizations and cultures and languages that we can never get back. And we're never going to be able to change that, but at least we can try to impact the future and how people look at indigenous people and bring awareness to the fact that people are still, indigenous people are still being oppressed and they're still being mistreated. If we look at the colonial case of Puerto Rico, if we look at what happened at Standing Rock last year, these are all the reasons why it's important to come out and re-educate the public about what today really means.
I understand that also there's a move to change Columbus Day to some other day. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, we're the plan is to change it to Indigenous Peoples Day, and this has already been achieved in different cities around the United States, in a few cities already. And we're trying to get New York to also get on board. We're trying to get the Columbus statue at Columbus Circle to be taken down, and hopefully have Columbus Circle renamed. We don't have such a thing as Hitler Day, Hitler Circle. We don't celebrate genocide, so we shouldn't celebrate Christopher Columbus either.
Okay, Johnny Stevens saw the flag that you made up and he was very impressed by it. So he wanted me to ask you about that. Could you tell us about the flyer that we're giving out today?
Sure. We're bringing, like I said, we're bringing awareness because a lot of people ask, taking down a statue is not going to change history. And you're right, it's not going to change history, but we're going to be able to change the way that people view each other and view the indigenous people of this land. I'm a college student, and I still have professors to this day saying that Christopher Columbus was a hero, that Christopher Columbus discovered us. And that's not the case. In 2017, in a college, university classroom, in a CUNY classroom, that's not acceptable. And that's why we need to change this and we need to make this impact. Because it's not about changing history, it's about changing the way that we currently see each other and we see our relatives.
Okay, and suppose somebody who's watching the video, they want to get involved, they want to do some resistance to either get the holiday changed or to come and protest for Puerto Rico decolonization or so many other injustices that we have all over the world. How could they get in contact with you?
Yes. There's a petition going online to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. You can look that up. It's sponsored by Decolonize This Place. You can get in contact with me. I'm Loaiza Rivera. You can look me up on Facebook and check out our group, Oscar Mandela Committee, Boricua Unity and Power Outreach, and any other independence group. It's very simple to get connected if you really want to.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
Thank you.
Handing out tickets and flyers. Yeah, it's all one line. The museum is actually fundamentally
There's about 3.5 million on the island, and out of all the ones that are living on the island, first there's a 3% that are undereducated because of lack of resources, because of this system of colonialism that's been imposed upon us. So there are a lot of my people that feel that they're afraid of independence because they feel that we cannot go without the United States. But if you look at our situation now, everybody is trying to help us, except for the United States that is putting so many roadblocks in our way. So there are people like, I'm pretty sure that the people of Puerto Rico were not the ones that put up the statue. I'm pretty sure the statue was put up by organizations, our government, or, I mean, I don't think the people themselves were the ones endorsing this.
Understood. I think if you look at what happened, there were 8 different towns that were fighting for the statue, and Arecibo ended up getting the statue. So that's a story for another day. How do you think Mayor de Blasio has handled this whole thing?
The statue is still up, and I still have to go to a place called Columbus Circle, and I still have to, I'm a CUNY student, and I would have never thought, I recently went back to school, I started with school back in January, and I never would have thought in 2017 that I would hear my professor say, Christopher Columbus is a hero, Christopher Columbus should be honored, Francisco de Leon discovered Florida, and I as a student, as someone who studies and educates herself, I have to raise my hand in class and correct them, because they're not just miseducating me, they're miseducating my peers, and adults, not just children. This is a college class, so this all plays into the reason why this needs to be changed.
And you said something interesting. You said it's not about changing the past. I mean, Columbus is who he was. He was a man of his time.
Right. I mean, there's no way for us to undo the genocide that happened at his hand. There's no way for us to restore the culture that I lost, that my relatives lost in the Caribbean here in North America. There's no way that I can precisely learn the language that my ancestors spoke. We're trying to rebuild the Taino language, but that's not possible. So there's no way to take that back, but we can change things for the future. I have no hate, I have no anger for European descendants living in this country. What I want and I hope to achieve with renaming Columbus Day and renaming the statue is to create unity and solidarity so that we can all understand that we're just trying all to come together. We can celebrate Italian culture without celebrating Christopher Columbus. And Italian culture and Italian heritage is beautiful. You know, it shouldn't be represented by someone who committed genocide and murder.
You anticipated my last question. Are you sure those shoes are historically accurate?
Oh, come on. Yeah, go ahead.
So why are you here today?
I'm Johnny Stevens. I'm here with the American Indian Community House. We call for the celebration of Indigenous People Day celebration. And the celebration, and they're having a tour today to actually show the development of what happened with the history, like Theodore Roosevelt statue. And they're asking people, just like they put down some Confederate flags, they want that to be removed because it represents colonialism, and the Christopher Columbus case, it must represent genocide. We have a hashtag, it's called #NotMyHero, that will give you a whole outlay of very developed scientific studies with historians as well as activists as well as indigenous people saying what is the myth of Columbus. We want people to go to that, and we want people to realize what we're saying is that we're not against the Italian community. I watched the Italian parade today on TV, and I saw carpenters, I saw cab drivers, I saw immigrant people, I saw people there that was helping in the Katrina Rita survivors. I saw people there that said they're going to help in relationship to what just happened in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and so forth. So we're not saying we're against the Italian community. We're saying that statue, Christopher Columbus, as well as this statue, represent historically genocide. And as far as history is concerned, put it in a museum. Replace that where the workers, a lot of Italian workers, talking about the immigrant question, it's a lot of Italian workers. So if you want to place a statue there, place it of an Italian worker in there. That's what we're saying. And the tour, it's going to be a tour inside. I hope you join it. It's a very good tour, and we're really taking the education of history and making it relevant to what's going on today, the fight against racism, the fight against police brutality. Right now, you got the police department, and you got the papers whooping up that, oh, we got to protect all the statues. They're spending millions of dollars saying they're going to protect statues, like we're charging statues. Representing what we're representing, we have approached the mayor, we have approached the city council, we have a committee of Native American and other activists that meet every week. We've been in touch with historians, we've been in touch with teachers. We want to put the whole struggle and the myth out there and remove it as a mass campaign, as a campaign of education to our community that embrace the indigenous and the Italian and the African American and other community. So we're not doing nothing. You ain't got to worry about us running down, tearing down those statues. That's not the case of what's happening here. So this is a very, like I said, it's Native American Indian House is the leadership, and it is Indigenous Day. I'm with a group called Parents to Improve School Transportation. So I think all the schools and all the parents and everyone should be very interested in this. This is why I'm out here today.
Now, how do you feel about the counter-protesters out here today?
Well, I didn't hear anybody say that they were having a counter protest. They said they're having an Indigenous Day tour. That's what's going on. Now, I'm not saying, I don't know what it's going to be, but this is what the literature is actually saying. And as far as people coming up and being a part of saying that being in line in the rain and all that, and their workers and getting from work, and students and all that, it shows the urgency of people really want to be a part of it. Look what's happening in Puerto Rico. Look what's happening in the Virgin Islands, where still today there's no electricity, there's no light, there's no internet, there's no water. When urgent issue like that happens, and you can see someone here from Puerto Rico, we have an issue here, a serious issue that combines. That's what we're here for.
Oscar Lopez Rivera was a terrorist, a communist.
Let's look back at the United Nations Resolution 1514.
He was the mastermind.
In 1960, the United Nations declared colonialism an international crime.
He was part of
by international law, the United States is the criminal. The United States is the terrorist. By international law, when a country is occupied, when a people do not have the right to self-determination,
DC, they attacked Chicago and New York City.
So
you think it's okay to commemorate a communist?
For self-determination by any means necessary.
You think it's okay to commemorate that communist?
Law, United States is the terrorist. By international law,
he was a prisoner, and you guys are commemorating him. This would have never happened before.
Out of the bottom of my heart, educate yourself. And
educate yourself. The man was a communist. He went. Why did he go to jail? Why did he go to jail? ¿Por qué se fue para cárcel? The politicians. Ask the politicians out there.
They don't do that. You heard me? And grace and peace be unto you. And his forever. Hallelujah. God is good.
Understand that every 28 hours in this country,
You know what they're trying to do? You know what they're trying to do?
Okay, thank you.